Good morning. Welcome to Core and Pelvic Floor Zoom with me, Hannah. This is week 9 of this class. 9 weeks of working on our core, working on our pelvic floor, and deepening that connection between our breath and our pelvic floor muscles. If you've been following this class for all 9 weeks, you'll know that it can be quite wordy, I think is the right way to describe it. Lots of education happening too. We're learning a lot, but this week is going to be less talk, more action, so more exercise based rather than the big lecture at the beginning. A couple of things to say: have your water bottle with you, although our exercises are not super intense. It's nice to keep hydrated. Make sure you have a space to exercise that's comfortable. Almost everything will be on the floor today, including some lying on our sides, some using an incline, and that can be an exercise bench if you have it, or like the sofa or a chair. If you don't, I'll be using my sofa for that incline, just something to raise my hands higher than my feet. But yeah, everything will be on the floor. So make sure that if you're not comfortable getting up and down on the floor by yourself, that you sit, maybe revisit this when you have someone in the house if you're by yourself, or make sure you have something close to you to help you up, like keep the chair close to you to help you get back up onto your feet. We'll take our time when we're getting up and down off the floor, but something to be aware of. Lots of floor exercises. I'm really sorry, my dogs are barking right outside the door, and I'm sure you can hear it, but it will just take me longer to go and shout at them, and then they'll stop back. So let's have a drink because I've talked so much already. Let's stand up, and we're going to think about alignment of our body. Alignment is different to posture. Posture is kind of the way we look when we're standing or sitting, holding a pose. And then alignment is how our body works. So putting our body in a position where it can work to an optimal degree, I'll say. So come up onto feet. Move my seat out the way. Make sure you can see me. Let's tilt this up a little bit. All right, so let's stand up nice and tall, and we'll think about alignment. We've talked about this a couple of times, but that's okay. We want to stand with our feet about hip width apart. So this would be too wide, and this would be too narrow. Hip width apart here. Toes are pointing forward, not inwards, not outwards, but straight forwards. Let's think about our pelvis. Oh, sorry, we're going to talk about knees first. Soft knees. I'm trying to work my way up in a linear fashion. So soft knees, a little bend of your knees. And then think about this pelvis. We want to have your perineum, so it's over the space between your ankles. The space between your ankles, like right here. Your perineum, if you need a refresher, is the space between your vagina and your anus. If you're a man, it's the space behind your testicles before you get to your anus. So that little patch there is your perineum. Make sure that is over the space between your ankles. Pelvis is not tilted forward. We're not thrusting those hips forward. We're not pushing those hips back. Rib cage should be over hips. So a nice straight line all the way down. Working up your body here, you want your nipples pointing forwards, not up or down, but in a nice pointing forward straight line. Relax those shoulders away from your ears, and have those arms just nice and loose at your sides. Perfect. Now you are in good alignment. So let's think about that throughout the class if we can. We're going to do a little bit of breathing just to reacquaint ourselves with that deep belly breathing that we like in this class. So let's have one hand on your rib cage, one hand on your belly. And we're going to take a big inhale. Feel everything expand. And exhale. Feel that belly and that rib cage shrink. Let's do this a couple of times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now we call this breath our connection breath. It's what we use to connect our breathing with our pelvic floor. If you remember, pelvic floor is shaped kind of like a pop can. This isn't a pop can, it's a coffee cup, but same kind of shape. At the top here, we have the diaphragm. So that's that muscle that supports your lungs. At the bottom here is the pelvic floor. The front is your abdominal muscles. At the sides, your obliques and your transverse abdominals. And at the back, that's your spine and muscles like the multifidus, which hold you up, support your spine. When there's pressure inside this abdominal area, these muscles move. As your diaphragm lowers when you breathe in, your pelvic floor lowers. And as your diaphragm lifts, as you breathe out, your pelvic floor lifts. So we're really wanting to connect the pelvic floor with our breathing. As we inhale this time, I want you to imagine your pelvic floor relaxing. The relaxation is so important. Many people have overactive pelvic floor, and it actually causes as many problems as a weak pelvic floor would, and maybe probably more. So let's think about the pelvic floor relaxing. A couple of kind of visualizations. You can imagine an elevator lowering down and then coming back up as you exhale. I like to think about a flower. So if you imagine a flower in bud, that's your pelvic floor and it's contracted. And when you breathe in, that flower blossoms. The petals bloom, it unfolds, it unfurls, it relaxes, whatever word makes that word for you there. So let's do a couple of those big breaths. Big inhale. Relax that pelvic floor and exhale. Contract. So the elevator will lower and it will come up. We'll do one more. Think about that flower this time. Unfurling the petals of the flower and closing it back up. Now we're going to come straight back down to the floor. We're going to, not back down, but straight down to the floor. We're going to practice some of that breathing on the ground and then move into our exercises. So let's step 1 foot forwards. We're going to raise that back heel here. And as we do that, drop that back knee towards the floor. You can see my front knee is bending and hinging at the hips. Hands on either side of that foot. And then we'll come down slowly onto knees, onto your side. And let's lay down here onto your back. I like to have my feet flat on the floor. Just need to adjust the ponytail here. So we're going to start with our connection breath on the floor. But before we do that, let's think about alignment and how that relates to being on the ground. Rib cage and hips want to be nice and in line. So for me, that means there's a little space between my back and the floor. I'm not pressing my lower back into the ground because that lifts my pelvis. And I'm not trying to arch my back. Obviously that's not comfortable and that pushes your ribs above your pelvis. So think about, get yourself into your alignment here. One hand on your rib cage, one hand on your belly. And let's take a nice inhale. Really think about the pelvic floor this time. Imagine that elevator lowering down and picking it back up as you exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's do some Kegel practice. So some sustained contractions of your pelvic floor. We'll inhale and relax as normal. And when we exhale, we're going to contract that pelvic floor and hold it for a count of 4. Let's do that together. Inhale here. And exhale. Contract that pelvic floor and hold here for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now relax. And exhale. Contract. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's inhale. And exhale. Hold here for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Make sure you relax. And exhale. And hold for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Inhale. Make sure you relax at the end there. Okay, we're going to do some heel slides to start with. So we'll be moving our foot away, so it's straight flat on the floor, and then pick that foot back up where you lay. So let's do one leg at a time. We'll be inhaling as we straighten that leg, exhaling as we bend. So here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Make sure you're thinking about that pelvic floor. Inhale, relax. Exhale, pick up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more each side. Moving so slowly. So we're really working on that breath. Very good. Next, we want to pick those feet up. Just adjusting so I'm not, I always want to push my back right into the ground when I lift my legs. So trying to keep my rib cage and my hips in line here. So pick up those feet and we're going to tap one toe to the floor. As we lower, we'll inhale. As we lift, we will exhale. So one at a time here. Good, nice and slow. Ooh, excuse me, really deep breathing. One more each side. Good, and relax those feet both to the floor. We're going to do a bridge lift next. This is where we press our feet into the ground and lift our hips at the same time. So it will look like this. You'll be lifting your hips as you exhale, and as you inhale and you relax your pelvic floor, you'll relax your hips back to the ground. Let's try that here. We'll take a big inhale to prepare, and we'll exhale as we lift up. So nice big inhale. Make sure that pelvic floor is relaxing. And exhale. And lift. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And nice and slow as you inhale down. I somehow seem to have put myself on a squeaky floorboard. I don't know if the camera is picking that, oh, not the camera, but the microphone is picking that up, but there's a definite squeak right under my shoulder. Okay, let's repeat those. Bring those feet, yeah, keep those feet flat on the floor. We're going to do the heel slides again. We'll inhale as we straighten that leg, exhale as we pick it back up. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, inhale,
exhale. Thinking about that relaxation and deep breaths is really key. Last one. Very good. Pick those feet up and let's do a round of those toe taps. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you pick up. Good, nice inhale as you lower down. We're moving slowly, we don't want to be breathing too quickly. One more each side. Very good, and lower those feet together slowly. Good, with feet flat on the floor, we'll do a round of bridge lifts. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift up. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, nice and slowly down, relax. Exhale, lift. As you're relaxing, think about relaxing through your glutes. So that's like your bum muscles. And that will help with that pelvic floor relaxation. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Last one, exhale, lift up, and inhale, lower down. Very good. All right, we're going to walk our feet to one side here and roll onto our side. I'm just going to push myself up, so to fix my hair and take a drink. We're going to do a few exercises lying on our side. We'll do 2 rounds, so all will be on one side, and then we'll do everything on the other. Oh. Just spat half that water on myself, so that'll be on YouTube later. There we go. Let's lay on our side here. So I'm going to support my head with my arm. Make sure, get comfortable here, lying right on my side with my legs stacked one on top of the other. So my feet are together, my knees are together, and my knees are bent. Try and be nice and comfortable here. Think about being in line. So you don't want to be keeping your torso too far forward or too far back. Rib cage and hip in line. Same thing with these shoulders. You don't want to roll the shoulder forwards or backwards. The shoulder should be pointing straight up to the ceiling. It's in line with that hip. We're going to do an exercise called the clamshell to start with. Keeping your feet together, you're going to open or lift one knee. So open those knees and then close. We will inhale as we lift and we'll exhale as we come back in. You can really think about squeezing your glutes, so squeezing your bum as you lower that knee slowly. And of course, think about the pelvic floor. So inhale here and exhale. I find this a really good position for really feeling that contraction, really being in tune with that relaxation, that contraction of the pelvic floor. So let's run through a couple here. Inhale, lift, and exhale. Squeeze the lower. Inhale, nice and slowly. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Lower. One more. And exhale. Good. We're going to straighten this one leg here, that top leg. And we're going to raise that leg up and down. It feels very 80s fitness video. Just take that leg as high as you comfortably can. So we'll inhale as we lift and we'll exhale as we lower. So inhale, lift, relax that pelvic floor. Exhale, squeeze as you lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So you're lifting as you inhale. What you can do to kind of visualize and think about the relaxation is imagine that you're filling up with air. Your pelvic floor is filling with air and it's pushing that leg up. As you exhale, the air is emptying out. Your leg, as it comes down, is squeezing the air out. So let's inhale as we lift. Exhale. Inhale, filling with air. Exhale. Squeeze it out. Inhale, fill up. Exhale. And one more. Inhale as you fill up with air. And exhale. Very good. One more on the floor here. Stack those legs on top of each other again with that bent knee. And we're going to come up so we are on knee and elbow. I actually need to get a pillow for this because I find my elbow digging into the floor unbearable. Just going to use this to support my elbow. If you're using a nice yoga mat, then you might not have this trouble, but my elbow on the floor does not feel great. So we're going to push ourselves up so we're supported by knee and elbow. Or up like this. So some space. There's some space here. We're going to hold this just for 30 seconds. So here we are. Up. We want to take nice deep breaths. Try and have this hand that's on the floor relaxed if you can. I see a lot of people making a really tight fist. So try and relax that. And just take deep breaths. You can think about pulling that belly button in towards your spine if you want some extra core engagement here. We have about 5 seconds left. Take deep breaths. Good, and relax down nice and slowly. We're going to switch to the other side now. So move yourself onto the second side. And we'll do those clamshells to begin with. So one foot and leg stacked on top of each other. We'll inhale as we open the knees, exhale as we close. Here we go. Good. Same as that leg raise, we can think about inhaling and filling that pelvic floor with air. So opening up to make room. As you bring that knee down, it's pushing the air out, squeezing the air out. Last one. Good. Let's take that top leg out nice and straight, and we'll lift it just as high as you comfortably can. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower. Good. Really think about filling up with air. Good. And one more, up and down. Very good. Let's do that side plank one more time. I just need to grab my support pillow here for my elbow.
So you're going to be supported by elbow and knees. So one leg on top of the other again. We're going to push ourselves up onto our knees and elbow. When we're ready, we'll hold for 30 seconds. Here we go. And we just want to take nice deep breaths. So trying to be as relaxed as possible. I know it's very easy to say this is not particularly a natural position to find yourself in, but keep that hand that's on the floor relaxed if we can. And just take some deep breaths. Pulling that belly button in towards your spine to help with the core engagement. I'm just checking my watch so we don't hold this for too long. And let's relax. Very good. Now we're going to push ourselves up to sit here. And now is the time to find your incline. We're going to do a little bit of work in a plank position, but we want to be on an incline. Just going to adjust things, move my camera a little bit. I'm going to use this sofa right here as my incline. Have a drink if you want to. Actually, I'm going to use I think last time I found the sofa was too soft. I'll use my footstool. There we go. So bring your hands up onto whatever item it is you're using, your sofa, your footstool, your exercise bench, if you have all the things. And we're thinking about bringing those hands right underneath our shoulders. You can see now I'm in this plank position with my hands higher than my feet. And that's what we're doing. Just going to turn myself so I'm facing the camera a little bit more. Obviously you don't need to, just make sure that you can see me. So to start with, we're just going to hold here and take a deep breath. So I'm going to hold for about 30 seconds now. Good. Really take deep breaths, especially focusing on that relaxation. I don't want you to be squeezing your bum here. Good. And it's not the most relaxing way to hold yourself, but as relaxed as you can be. For 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But don't move from this position. We're going to do a little bit of moving in this position. So I want you to take you're going to tap your toes. Basically, you're going to tap your right foot out to the side and back to center. Your left foot out to the side, back to center. Right and in, left, in, right, 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 in, left, in. Very good. Walk your way up to standing here. Whew. It can be hard on the arms to hold that position for a long time. Very good. Okay, we're just going to finish off. Oops, let me move this. We're going to finish off with a little bit of standing alignment work again and do a couple of squats, some hip hinges so we can practice that functional breathing. We've talked about that before. We want to be able to use our breath when we're doing everyday daily activities. It's fine and good to be able to kind of access that pelvic floor connection when you're laying down and doing Kegels, but we want to be able to do it when we're moving. And that's what we've been doing for the rest of the class already, but squats and hip hinges kind of very functional daily movements. So let's get into our alignment quickly here. Feet facing forward, knees soft, rib cage over hips, perineum over the space between your ankles, chest nice and tall, and shoulders away from your ears. So from here, we're going to do a squat. I like to hold my hands just here at my chest. You can do whatever is comfortable. We're going to inhale as we lower down. So as we lower down, we'll be relaxing the pelvic floor. And as we stand up, We will exhale and contract the pelvic floor. So inhale, the elevator will lower. Exhale, the elevator will lift. Let's try a few of these. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, relax down. Exhale, pick up. Inhale, relaxing those glute muscles. Glute muscles are your big bum muscles, so relax them on that way down. You can give them a little squeeze as you come up, but you must make sure that you relax them when you lower. Nice and slow on that way down and up. One more. Very good. We'll do a hip hinge next. So again, let's put ourselves in alignment. I'm standing to the side just so you can see the hip hinge. I find that you can see it a little better if I'm standing side on. So make sure you're standing feet facing forward, toes, knees soft, rib cage where it should over your hips, pelvis in alignment between those ankles, standing nice and tall. We're going, again, I'm going to hold my hands at my chest and we will hip hinge. So we'll hinge forwards at the hips, stick your bum right out. And as you fold forward, really think about relaxing through this area, relaxing through your glute muscles. You do not want to be hinging and trying to squeeze because that is not fun for the pelvic floor. We want to be really relaxed as we hinge. We can contract and squeeze a little bit here as we stand up. We'll inhale as we fold forward. We'll exhale as we stand up. I feel like there's so many instructions. All right, let's work together. Inhale. Hinge forward, exhale, stand up as we fold forward. Relax through those glutes. Really make sure you are not squeezing. And then squeeze a little as you come up. Inhale, relax. Exhale, up. Inhale. Nice and slowly. Exhale, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, and one more. Inhale and exhale. Wonderful. Great work, everybody. I think that is about all we have time for. What are we? Yes, about 10 after 10. So I will wrap it up there and say thank you so much, everyone. More of the same next week. Next week for sure will be core and pelvic floor. I will have to give you an answer about the new year next week. I'll find out what the plan will be and whether this class will continue. But for sure, we'll see you next week. It will be similar. We'll do exercising and less talking. If there's anything particularly you want to see in that last class, let me know. Send me an email. You can send, you should be able to find me on the weekly wellness email. My name should be listed there, or you can email Abby if you have her email handy. So I will say goodbye. See you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Hannah.
You're so welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.